Welcome to episode 1 in our CBET series, Building Courses for Real-World Competence. In this episode, we'll explore what competency-based education and training really means, why it matters for higher education, and how it connects to the University of the West Indies' mission to produce graduates who are ready to thrive in the workplace and beyond. Traditionally, many university courses focus on what students will learn, the theories, concepts, or content. CBET, however, shifts the focus to what students will be able to do with that knowledge. It's an outcomes-driven approach that ensures learners can demonstrate performance to a defined standard, not just to recall information. In short, it asks, can students apply what they have learned in a real-world context? A competency describes the ability to perform a task or function to a required standard. It combines knowledge, skills, and attitudes in ways that are observable and measurable. The National Volunteer Skills Center defines competency as what a person must do under what conditions and how well it must be done. Competency is about doing, not just knowing. It's performance that meets expectations in a real or simulated context. Let's look at why CBET matters in higher education. The relationship between higher education and CBET is especially important for an institute that is seeking to produce work-ready graduates. As educators, when we design courses around competencies, we connect academic theory to authentic performance, meaning the task that students will be required to do effectively while on the job. Whether it's analyzing data, managing teams, conducting experiments, or communicating professionally, this shift to CBET clarifies expectations for learners, aligning programs with industry and community needs. It also reinforces accountability in both teaching and assessment. When it comes to developing competencies, it involves 4 integrated dimensions. Those are task skills, task management skills, contingency management skills, and environment skills. Together, these dimensions ensure that competence reflects the real complexity of professional performance. It is important to note that these dimensions also move the instructional focus or the teaching episode from what students learn to what students will be able to do with the knowledge gained. Let's take a closer look at each. When it comes to task skills, this focuses on proficiency required to perform individual, discrete functions to the mandated standard. For example, a nursing student must demonstrate that they can execute inserting an IV correctly according to the standard. Task management skills. This dimension addresses the strategic coordination required to manage several related tasks simultaneously, such as overseeing various components of a comprehensive project or coordinating group project deliverables. Contingency management skills. This critical area involves adaptive expertise. It's the ability to respond effectively when situations go wrong or deviate from the required standard operating procedures. This includes necessary actions like adapting a lab procedure when equipment fails. Environment skills requires working appropriately within the specific organizational or social context. It assesses professional conduct such as adhering to institutional policies or effectively collaborating with colleagues. It is important to pay attention to the differences between CBET and the traditional model. When you think about updating your courses to a CBET structure, you should try to move from the traditional course experience. Traditional education is often time-based. Students complete a set number of weeks or credits and earn a grade. However, in CBET, progress depends on demonstrated mastery, not a set time. Assessment focuses on evidence. You should ask the question, can the learner perform the skill at the expected standard? This means that the learner is either competent or not yet competent. This process makes evaluation more transparent and equitable while encouraging learners to take ownership of their growth. Essentially, CBET encourages the teaching and learning to shift from theory to practice. Consider this example. A traditional course outcome might state define the principles of project management, but in a CBET approach, it becomes apply project management principles to a small scale academic event. This shift turns understanding into application and moves learning from theory to performance, which is a measurable, workplace ready skill. Now, adopting CBET at the University of the West Indies brings powerful benefits. It clarifies what success looks like for both lecturers and students. It aligns programs with the UE graduate attributes and employability goals. It enhances assessment validity and feedback transparency. It also bridges the academic and professional worlds through authentic tasks. Ultimately, it positions the UE as a leader in designing learning that produces competent, ethical, and adaptable graduates. As we end this episode, I invite you to take a moment to reflect on one of your current courses. Ask yourself, what can students truly do by the end of the semester? And how might those abilities be expressed as competencies valued by employers or professional communities? This reflection sets the stage for episode 2, where we'll explore the anatomy of a competency and learn to design one effectively.